What's up, guys? In this episode, I go over the new KMA Pylon ATB Noise Gate. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy, Luis Torres, and in today's episode, I have that just arrived about 15 minutes ago, the new KMA Pylon Advanced, what? I'll tell you right now. The Advanced Transformer Boost. So, the great thing about this pedal, and it's interestingly enough, because for all of you guys that live for noise gates, the problem that you run into is that you always end up losing some kind of something in that flavorful, tone that you absolutely love. So much so that there are so many guys that actually don't use noise gates because they feel that it interrupts that signal path, that it just eats away at their tone. And there are so many pedals that are notorious for that. Let's say the ISP Decimator, the Boss NS2. There's a bunch of other ones, the Electro-Harmonix Silencer. And what this does with the ATB system that they have, it actually boosts that signal so you don't end up losing anything. So this is a noise gate slash built-in boost, but it's not in the sense of a boost pedal per se, right? When you think of a boost pedal, you're thinking of how your signal is now going to be tight, considering the fact that, if you're using something like a Mesa rectifier or anything along those lines where the low end is kind of too loose and you want the frequency to be tighter, this just allows your initial signal path to not run into any issues. So you can actually hit it with a boost. That way the signal gets sent out. And you can actually use this pedal as a 2-cable method or a 4-cable method. So the regular 2 is up on top. The 4-cable method has the send return on the sides. This has a cut and boost knobs on the right and left. There's 2 toggles for the noise gate. That's sync on off and the high low, and that's based on the sensitivity of the threshold. So let's take a look. I'm actually going to be using my trusty Boss Super Overdrive, the SD1, just because it's a $50 pedal. It's a great overdrive. I have the drive set to 0. I have volume and tone maxed, so that way it is tightening my signal, and you get to hear how this guy works alongside it. So instead of chopping this video up, I'm just going to plug it right in and set it up that way. All right, so I'm using my 1991 ESP M2 Custom. This one has the Seymour Duncan Nazgul in the bridge. My signal path is guitar through my Shure wireless system into the Super Overdrive that goes out to the KMA Pylon, out to my Mesa triple rectifier, and that runs out to my Mesa 412 cabinet with V30s using my Shure SM57 mic. So let me switch mics. That way you guys can have a listen. All right, so I'm going to start off with the pedal off. Actually, with both pedals off. Then I'm going to activate the Boss Super Overdrive, and I'm going to show you how noisy it is, and then I'm going to activate the KMA, okay? Okay, Louie. All right, guys, so there you have it. So I walked about, I don't know, let's call it 20 feet from my cabinet, and that was with the KMA off, and then with it on, and then for the heck of it, I turned it off again, and then turned it on again. So it does work, and here's the one thing. You guys know when you have a really good noise gate, and I have a few, just because I'm cuckoo like that, right? Like I always feel like I need to see and find that new noise gate. When you set your noise gate relatively high, right? And let's say you stop playing and you still have your volume on, it's always clamped, right? With a good noise gate. And that's fine because you don't hear anything. But this pedal is clamped. But the one thing that I thought was real cool is that it's not clamped. It is clamped for noise and feedback and anything like that, but you can still hear that if I were to play a low note, it's clamped. Almost like what it's doing is clamping whatever noise, noise that you kind of typically get. And my triple rectifier isn't the most quietest of heads. And this thing is doing a great job. And I'm just using the 2-cable method, which is my preferred option, just because, look at this. If I try to get behind one of my amps, like, bro, like it's literally moving a mountain of 5 or 6 heads. It kind of gets tricky, and Lord knows I don't want any of them to just topple over. So I always prefer 2-cable method. And the one thing with me is if it does great as a 2-cable method, it's going to be incredible as a 4-cable method when you run it into your effects loop and you kill any noise that's coming from the preamp of your amp. So yeah, dude, it's a absolutely incredible pedal. And I think, I don't even remember how much it was. Maybe it was 200. But there are some pedals out there, like, if you guys remember the Hades, that thing was like $400. And they came and went because they didn't really work that great. So, but definitely this is a great pedal. It's I feel it's like the next wave of where noise gates are going to be, which is why I mentioned earlier that I'm kind of cuckoo when it comes down to noise gates, because everything will come to a head, right? Regardless if it's, noise gates or distortion pedals or overdrives. Like at some point, everyone's doing the same thing. Then there's one company that kind of breaks out of that pattern and does something different that's better than all the others. And eventually everyone else follows suit. So I kind of feel like, and of course the Germans are kind of crazy, just in general, when it comes down to their engineering, which, if you know your history, the reason why we have NASA is because of the Germans. If it weren't for their engineering, drive with rockets, we wouldn't have made it to the moon in 1969. 68, 69. So if you guys get your hands on a KMA Pylon, you're going to love it. And of course, pair it with your favorite overdrive pedal or your favorite boost. And if you kind of find that your signal sounds like maybe it's being chewed back a bit by the noise gate, activate the boost option, and there it goes. Dude, it's absolutely insane. It's crazy. And I love seeing technology kind of go, you guys are all stupid. Check me out, and that's definitely where this pedal is. It's the next wave of where noise gates are going to be. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you have not. And as usual, thank you, and I will talk to you soon.